Go to bigmancomics.com for the best in action adventure entertainment. Comic book movies suck. That may surprise some of you guys, seeing as how I am a professional comic book artist. By the way, why is this an expert opinion? I don't know. 25 years as an award-winning writer, illustrator, colorist for all the big companies. If you've heard of it, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Star Wars, I have worked on it. There are a lot of opinions out there, but most of them are not expert opinions, so you are welcome. I don't like comic book movies, guys, and that's going to be really weird to a lot of you because I make comic books for a living. I make damn good comic books. You know it. BigManComics.com. There are exceptions, of course. 1998's Blade and the sequel Blade 2 are fantastic, awesome, action-packed movies. But if you ask someone who wasn't into comic books, if you told them that this was a comic book movie, they'd be like, oh, I had no idea. But there's been some news in the last few days about Blade, which is near and dear to my heart. One of my absolute favorite action movies. I mean, Wesley Snipes is beyond cool, right? And then just the aesthetic. By the way, the makers of The Matrix, you're welcome for this coming out the year before. I mean, the leather jackets and the straps and all that, the sunglasses, everything black and action-packed. It's all black and action-packed. Guys, you cannot top Wesley Snipes as Blade. But for some reason, the executives at Disney, there's a great line from this movie. For some reason,
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Now, I have never tried to ice skate uphill. I went ice skating one time in high school. The day I met my wife and really talked to her, I was like in 10th grade, and I have very large feet. I'm a very, very big man. That's why it's called Big Man Comics. I was already 6'2" in high school. I'm 6'4" now. They didn't have my size of ice skates at the ice skating rink. So I just ran around in my sneakers and got kicked off the rink. But I wanted to talk to the girls, so I was out there. But yes, the people at Disney and Marvel, they insist on doing this.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
They do. They're trying to do the impossible. They're trying to thread the needle of being woke and having their cake and eating it too. The problems, if any of you have been following along with Blade, the new Blade, it's been delayed for years. You've had directors come and go. The star, Mahershala Ali, they say he's dissatisfied. Is he in or is he out? They're on their second or third director. I don't even know. And it was announced this week, according to Variety, that Marvel's Blade removed from the release calendar. So this is a hit franchise. This is the movie that got comic book movies made. I don't care what anyone says. Comic book movies are what they are today, not because of 2008 Robert Downey Jr. Iron Man, but because of Wesley Snipes' Blade. And these guys, I heard that the Blade character played by Mahershala Ali, he'll sort of be in it, but then it'll be his badass daughter will take over. Guys, don't make the strong female when you have the badass male, because that would be like...
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
People don't want it. Don't take the thing that's awesome and replace it with your woke DEI, SJW, blah, 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 blah. And you're racist, you're sexist, you're homophobe. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Wesley Snipes is black. Oh, yeah. Look close. You can see it. And none of us, right-wing chuds, gave two craps that he was black, because you know what he was? He was black and awesome. And he's still awesome, and he should be Blade in the new movie, by the way. They should quit trying to... I'm not going to play the clip again right now. They should quit trying to ice skate uphill. They really should. Now, I hate comic book movies for the most part because I'm a bit of a comic book snob, and I believe it is one of the greatest original American, yes, created in America, American art forms. And I think the thing that makes a comic book is self-evident, is the drawing. That's what makes it. If you take the drawings out of a comic book, it's now a novel. And movies don't have drawings in them. The movies are great. Movies are great as an art form. They're one of the greatest ever. And they're cousins to comic books. It's visual storytelling. But I think comic books, by and large, should be illustrated and printed on paper. Really, I do. Pencil, ink, printed on paper. You can hold it. You can smell it. That's one of the main reasons I don't like comic books. Also, comic book movies. The other reason I don't like comic book movies, aside from this movie, is fantastic. And this movie's fantastic. But when you get into this stuff here, I hate the MCU. Now, I know most of you like it. You like Deadpool. You like the Avengers. I hate this crap with a passion, and I always have. I don't know how many Marvel movies and TV shows there are. I'm guessing there's about 30. And I haven't seen one that I really liked at all. I hate these things. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. The problem with this stuff is it's not comic booky. It's too many cooks in the kitchen, too many people who don't love the art form of illustration, and that's the root of comic books. And it's all quippy and Big Bang Theory, like comedy, like this. This, when I saw this on TV, it was just the worst.
Hey! Hey! We know each other. He's a friend from work.
He's a friend from work. It's got to be the Marvel, and I'm vindicated because for like the last 10 years, I've been making fun of the Marvel sense of humor. Hey, I thought you said you knew these guys. Look out, looks like we got company. Just that elbow you in the ribs. Get it, get it, get it. It's popsicle stick humor. Guys, it's the worst. And if you like the Marvel movies, I'm sorry, you're wrong. They're terrible. They always have been. I hate this stuff. It's an insult to the beautiful art form of comics. That being said, you're free to like what you want. Go ahead. Better you than me watching these horrible things. But, Marvel was corny, and I hated their sense of humor. But they weren't overly woke. And then for some reason, they tried to ice skate uphill and do this. This looks great. As I said in my last video, this like, hey, kids, broccoli. I like broccoli myself. I'm an adult, and I like to eat healthy and exercise. But you know what I mean. Everyone would rather you say, hey, kids, chocolate. Nobody's, hey, kids, broccoli and asparagus. And I boiled it extra long. It's extra gloopy. So I don't know why they're trying to ice skate uphill with this. I mean, I do. We talk about it all the time on this channel. These are resentful communists. They hate the successful thing that came before, but they don't have the skill to have this success. So they take the momentum of this success and all their hatred and resentment and go, yeah, but what if all that awesome success was really me instead? This is what the communist, weirdo, feminist Marxists, this is what they always do. And I'm so happy that you guys are voting with your wallet and you're really not supporting this stuff. It is flopping. That's good. It's terrible. This is for nobody. Even the SJWs that make it, they don't like it. This is all made out of spite and resentment. And art is about truth and beauty. And it should be uplifting and inspiring. Action heroes, come on. They should always be uplifting and inspiring. I don't know what they're doing here. I don't care. They deserve to go out of business for making this stuff and shoving it on people and then calling you a bigot because you don't like it. And I don't think so. Then you get this, the witchcraft stuff. That's pretty disturbing. Witches are evil. They are bad guys. They should not be the heroes. I didn't watch this stuff. I don't know where they're going with any of this crap, and I don't care. Like I told you, there's probably 30, 40 Marvel TV show movies. I don't watch them. I've seen 5, 6, 7 of the movies, and I hate them. I hate them with the passion. I just hate them so much. But I have heard that there's a Penguin show that's really good, and I think I could tolerate something like that because although I'm snobby that comic books should be drawn and printed on paper, this feels like you could be watching The Wire or The Sopranos or some really good crime thing, and I love me some crime. For those of you that don't know, I love Parker. Darwin Cook, rest in peace, a great illustrator, great comic book illustrator. I think he was an animator. He was just a great artist. He died a few years back. He adapted the amazing novels of Richard Stark's Parker. He's a criminal, into graphic novels at IDW. And I got the first 4. He was going to do one every year, and then he passed away. But I got all the audiobooks of Parker. There's like 28, and I listened to every single one. I think there's 2 that are not in audiobook, so those 2 I haven't heard. But I love me some crime. So you guys tell me if you've seen Penguin and it's good and it's getting away from the woke crap. But again, I don't know why they're trying to ice skate uphill. But, I think things are turning with the election and woke just being ridiculed and mocked. You see all these DEI video games are failing and losing money. You see the Woker Joker movie is just a failure. So I think we're sending We're sending a message by voting with our wallets. And I think you guys need to keep it up. Support art that is good. Support me. I make wonderful, entertaining things that you can love and enjoy. You go to bigmancomics.com, you get Dean Cain, All-American Lawman. You are going to love it. And we have a big announcement. Dean is going to be on the show next Wednesday night at 7. That's going to be October 30th, I believe, the day before spooky old Halloween. He'll be on, and Dean and I are going to premiere something that we've been teasing online. There's a Christmas little special thing from Big Man Comics and Dean Cain, All-American Lawman that's going to be coming down the pike. But guys, I don't like comic book movies. I think they're an insult to comics. And here's one of my biggest gripes with this stuff, is it becomes watered down. You have to gatekeep your hobbies. You let in all these people who have not been there. They don't have the appreciation. They don't have the love. They become fans and creators. And it gets watered down and it gets weird and it gets turned into something that it wasn't. And it kind of ruins what you had as the core fan base. You know that, all of you guys out there that love your Warhammer, you love your video games and all that. And you see what happens when the masses that had no interest in this stuff till it got trendy, when they come in. I remember working at Wildstorm as a staff artist from the beginning of 2008 to the end of 2010. I did 3 years on staff at Warner Brothers for DC Comics. And I remember in September of 2010, they had a meeting, a teleconference. Jim Lee, Dan DiDio, Diane Nelson, all the big bosses at DC Comics were in New York City in the big amphitheater talking to all the New York City DC Comics employees. And then we joined them via satellite on TV. This is the September 2010. And they announced that DC Entertainment was being formed. And that would be the TV division and the movies and all that. And I remember thinking, oh God, this is going to change comics for DC Comics. And I didn't know if it was going to be good or bad. And I would say on balance, it's been terrible. I'd say the DC Comics movies are by and large awful. They're no worse than the Marvel movies to me. They're just worse in a different way. They seem unfocused and all over the place. And we'll try this, and we'll try this, and we'll try this. And Marvel at least had a coherent plan, but it seems like DC was playing catch up, and it really showed. I am biased, of course, because I worked on certain books and got invited to the Hollywood premiere, and I went to Hollywood and sat in the premiere with the movie stars and DC Comics colleagues. So I'm biased about Aquaman 1 and Shazam, because I went to those premieres and worked on those comics. But I don't like comic book movies, and I think the solution is this. We had Superman in 1978. We had Batman in 1989. I think the world, and then we had Blade in 1998. So that's like one every decade. I think we'd be better off as a hobby, comic books, if we had one absolute banger of a comic book movie every 10 years. And that's it. No TV shows, no 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies a year. One awesome, iconic Batman 1989, Superman 78, or was it 77? I'm sorry, I was born in 78. I could be getting that wrong. I think it's 78. Blade 1998. And just leave it at that, man. Just at most one every 5 years. Dark Knight 2008. Look at that. Look at that. So you go from 78 to 2008. That's 20 years, right? Am I doing my math right here, guys? Am I embarrassing myself? That's not 20 years, Gabe. That's 30 years. Jeez. And you have 4 iconic movies, right? So 78, 89, 98, 2008. Almost every 10 years, and you get the 4 best comic book movies of all time. That means we were due for a good one in 2018. I don't know if we got one then, and it means we're due for a good one in 2028. Comic book movies mostly suck. Blade is awesome. The Dark Knight is awesome. The Dark Knight Rises is pretty good. Batman 89 is a classic. The OG Superman 1 and 2 are both awesome. And I'd say leave it at that. Leave it at that. Guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I know most people disagree with me. Most people love all this stuff. I can't stand it, and I wish they'd quit making it. If they do want to make Blade, I'll leave it at this. Bring back Wesley Snipes. Have it be male-focused, action-adventure, ultra-violent, scary-ass vampires, and Blade. And Wesley Snipes, have you seen him? He still looks good. He still looks fit. He's up there flipping and kicking and swinging swords, killing gruesome, ugly vampires. And Disney, you'll make yourself $1 billion. Wesley Snipes is Blade. No shade to Mahershala Ali. He's a fine actor. Wesley Snipes is still alive and kicking. You're welcome, Disney. So I'll take, my consultant fee for just straightening you out. No girl bossing, no DEI, no nothing stupid. Just a badass, macho, masculine guy in black leather with a black fucking muscle car and shiny silver blades chopping ugly vampires to bits. Guys, go to bigmancomics.com. Get yourself Dean Cain All-American Lawman. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like. Follow me on X. I'm Big Man Comics. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, everywhere else. I'm just Gabe Eltaeb everywhere else. And we will talk to you later. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on social media and go to bigmancomics.com.